near-death experiences verify other religions?
You know, that's a good question. And judging from the emails I get, let's just pose the question first, the doubt. People think that we know NDEs in a Christian context, maybe in a Jewish context, and Christians often see Jesus and Jews often see angels. But what about when Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists see their religious figures? Could somebody claim to see Shiva? Could somebody claim to be with Buddha? And why wouldn't it, if I think there's evidence, am I not picking and choosing evidence not to let their religion be? All right. In near-death experiences, there's a crucial, this worldly, otherworldly distinction. Think of it this way. There's a lot of difference between a person who gets in a car accident, finds himself looking down at a car, and they see things that are verifiable, like something that later in the area a police report is made on, has nothing to do with theirs, but you can verify that event for a police report, and we know it started after this one because the paramedics put down the starting time for this. Okay. So you can verify other things. What if the person had evidence of another life, of another world rather, and seen like Shiva? Okay. NDEs are almost totally, 99% of them, of the hundreds of cases I know that are verifiable, the vast majority are verification of something in this world. A number on top of a high object that nobody else can see the number. A coin that's been flipped up on the top of the surgery room and only the person who's up there, or a janitor who's 15 feet off the ground can see the date on the coin, or something like that. Other things besides coins, objects. Someone throws something up there but you can't see it from down below. It's totally different when you have religious sites in other worlds. Let's take the most common one. I know a guy who went to hell. Okay. I read this story about a Hindu person seeing Shiva. Someone met Buddha. Okay. Those kinds of experiences, I met, and then you identify a person, are non-evidential. I saw somebody and they told me it was not my time yet, and they sent me back. And sorry now, I'm still a blank, whatever religion they were, because they told me that. How do you know it was him? Well, I just know it was him. How do you know it's Jesus when you meet Jesus? I don't know it's Jesus. Oh, you think the knife cuts both ways? I definitely think the knife cuts both ways. If a buddy of mine thinks he sees Jesus, I can register that. I can be blessed. I can say, oh, that's cool. That doesn't mean in my mind I think he's seen Jesus. He might have. I'm just saying, how do we know he saw that? You go, well, aren't you a Christian? Yeah. Do you believe in eternal punishment? I do. What about the approximately 20% of people think they saw hell? Same critique. I can go, oh, hell? Really? Ooh, bummer. What did it look like? Well, this and that. Some of them have very explicit comments. Wow, that's bad. So, wow, you have backup of your religion now, right? Not hell. Not that they saw Jesus. Why not? There's no evidence there. There's no fire engine going by while I'm above my body in the street after an accident, and I can verify that accident later, or a number in an operating room, or an object up on top of a light, on the backside of a light. Nothing I can verify. It's your word. And I would expect you to see Shiva because you're a Hindu. I would expect Jews to see angels because they're Jews. If someone says they saw Buddha and they happen to be Buddhist, well, yeah, but how about this guy? He's a Buddhist and he saw Shiva. Yeah, let's qualify that. He thinks he saw Shiva. Well, how do you know he didn't? Well, let me just ask you a question. Where does he live? Well, he lives in India. So both Buddhism and Hinduism are very, very common. He's heard both. What if he said he saw Jesus? Oh, you'd believe it if he said he saw Jesus. It might be true, but I'm asking evidence. So I can verify this worldly NDEs if there's this worldly evidence. And some of it's outstanding. Like in the book, The Self Does Not Die, where the person having surgery floats through the wall and watches a man have his leg amputated, and they watch him cut his leg off. Not incredibly rare, but he watched him pick it up and put it in a yellow garbage bag type thing, and that was verified later. Okay, I can verify those things. And if someone let me in, I can find the yellow bag and find the leg. I mean, things like that are done. But I can't verify that you saw Shiva. Did it say Shiva? Did it say angel of the Lord on their forehead? I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm saying, how do you know? Well, it was very loving, and I felt, that's fantastic. That's nice. How do you know you were there? Well, what about hell? I didn't want to see hell. Wouldn't that be like an embarrassment argument? It could be, but you could have been raised in the South, and you could have heard hellfire and sermons, and then walked away from the Lord when you were 19. It could be a psychological thing.
So would it be correct to say near-death experiences do not verify any religion? What they do is provide evidence for something more than the material world.
Absolutely. Now, I can think of a few odd otherworldly cases where something like that is verified, but we'd have to talk about that. And it's not the person having the NDE that's verified, it's the evidence that the person gives them that is later verifiable. But those are very rare and in between. And of the 300, I don't have a count right off the top of my head, but of the 300 evidential NDEs of which I'm aware, only a small number are that kind. For the most part, it is truly measurable things from this world, non-measurable personal impressions from another world. You go, well, you argue another world exists from this. Aren't you kind of sneaking in the world of Shiva and Brahman and Moses and hell? No, because you could never leave this world and I could know another world exists, another dimension. You go, well, how do you know? Well, I know a friend, good friend, who fell out of a tree and landed on his head when he was about 15, and his mom came rushing out the door and held him in her arms and said, baby, 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 don't die. And he's up in the tree still, his spirit or whatever, going, Mom, I'm fine. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. In fact, I feel really cool. Baby, baby, don't die, don't die. I can't feel his heartbeat. Call 911. Mom, I'm fine. See, that's another world right there. Mothers, young mothers who deliver, they're up above their body and they tell their husband not to cry or not to worry, or, oh, my baby's healthy. Nobody hears them. Nobody looks up and says, cut it out, we're trying to concentrate. Nobody knows. They're in another world. They can't. So if you never leave the emergency room, you're in another world, another dimension if you prefer. But you can't tell me that the person you saw and didn't give me an ID and know that that person is Jesus or Brahman or some religious figure.
So you focus on this world
You do.
corroboration.
Let's say it the way you said it. That was wonderful. What NDEs do, as I often say, Hindus, Muslims, Jews, Christians stand side by side, not because they're all true, we don't know that, but because they all see another world after they have oftentimes no brain, no heart activity, no measurable brain heart activity. They stand side by side because they all believe in an afterlife. The losers, the winners is not somebody who claims from that their religion is true, even Christians. That doesn't follow. What follows is naturalists who don't believe in an afterlife. I think they're most correctly wrong. So it goes after those who say there's no afterlife. That's the biggest argument that comes out of this.